Hey there! Did you know Baker's always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices? And when you download the Baker's app, you'll enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. And don't forget fuel points to help you save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Want to save even more? With a Boost membership, you'll get double fuel points and free delivery. So shop and save big at Baker's today. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
With threats to our nation waiting around every corner, adaptability is more important than ever. When conditions change without notice, quick strategic thinking is crucial. And with obstacles consistently impending, determination is essential in overcoming them. It's this willingness, decisiveness, and resilience that sets Marines apart. With our fighting spirit, we don't just fight battles, we win them. Marines are the constant our nation counts on to fight the unknown. And through adaptable problem solving, we do just that. Learn more at marines.com.
This episode is brought to you by Hyperice, the leader in advanced warm-up and recovery technology. They have tons of innovative products, like Venom-heated wearables to help soothe sore back muscles, Normatec compression boots to speed up recovery and increase circulation, and Hypervolt massage guns to improve mobility. Loved by athletes like Naomi Osaka and Erling Haaland. Try them yourself. Get 10% off your order with the code MOVE at hyperice.com.
This is Anything But Footy, covering the Olympic and Paralympic Games all the time, rather than just once every 4 years. I'm Michael.
And I'm John, and coming up in this episode, a Great Britain sitting volleyball special ahead of the first international sitting volleyball event to take place in the UK since London 2012. And it's a huge tournament for both the men and women as they target qualification for the Paralympics in Paris in 2024.
Hello, I'm Steve Allen. I am a member of the Great British sitting volleyball team.
My name is Nicole Jodie Hill, but everyone calls me by my second name, Jodie.
My name is John Monroe.
Hello, my name's Jessica Fraser. I'm part of the sitting volleyball GB team. I lost my leg when I was 3 years old.
I lost my below right leg, so yeah, below knee.
I had my accident in 2001, spent 9 years, various operations. It was amputated in 2010.
For me, I was born with my disability, or disabilities if you like, because I'm a multiple amputee.
But this episode of Anything But Footy is not about disability. This episode is about ability and the ambition to qualify for the Paralympics after taking part as host back in 2012. Qualification for the GB sitting volleyball teams can be achieved at the World or the European Championships or at a final qualification event next year.
John, Jessica and Jodie were all part of the squad in 2012, while Steve is aiming for a Paralympic debut.
As a disabled person, it can, depending on your disability, be difficult to keep fit. And I was in my mid-30s and I was thinking I need to do something active. And I'd quite like to compete as well. And there was a taster session for sitting volleyball that I think Volleyball England ran in Stoke, and I went down there and I thought, well, this works quite well for me. Let's take it from there.
I went to Roehampton, to the hospital there, and I saw a poster. So that was the August. Took a picture of it. October I rang up and the nice gentleman said, come and have a go with us, and flew me into GB training. That was a very interesting Monday night at Roehampton University. And then I played my first GB game in the January.
I went to an open day. There was a few sports there, and I really enjoyed the sitting volleyball. Basically, they had basketball, wheelchair tennis, and a few other things. And there's a sitting volleyball team. And this is at the very sort of start, the very beginning, sort of in back in 2009. And so I didn't really pursue it straight away. But then I started, there was a local team. I was living in London at the time. There was a local team, so I sort of joined that, and there was the Grand Prix and a bit of momentum behind it back then.
There was a letter that my mum had, and it was with my professor, and he put a footnote at the end of our consult session, and he said, I asked Jessica what she wanted to do when she grew up, and she said she wanted to be a Paralympian, and there's no doubt in my mind that she will. And obviously, fast forward, I think 8 years, I debuted at London 2012. I don't think there's any words to describe how it like fully felt. It was just so surreal. It felt like I was out of my body looking, and it was just a surreal experience. I had a young baby at the time as well, so I did take some time out before the Paralympics and had my son Nico. And I came back afterwards and trained very, very hard to get selected for London 2012.
I've got 2 young kids, so they keep me very busy, and I work full time basically. I work in IT for an insurance company, and yeah, so work, kids, and I try to squeeze volleyball in as much as I can. It is very challenging, I have to admit, because it puts a lot of burden onto my wife as well. And I'm not originally from this country. I came from Australia about 20 years ago. My wife is actually German. So, we don't have any grandparents or immediate family here to help us either. So that does make it hard. So we can't, it's always one of us has to be on duty pretty much.
I've got a full-time job. I work for Garth Owen Garden Centre, which is in Hampshire. I guess my job is basically everything. I just fill holes. Which is great because it means that I'm doing something different every day. They gave me a job title of logistics manager, but I'm not really sure where that came from. And then on the side, I also teach climbing.
I'm a video game developer. I have worked for a few companies. I worked for Sony originally, and then Sumo up in Sheffield, and I currently work for a company called Lucid. I was just always a big fan of computer games growing up, and then I went to university and did computer science, and I somehow made it into the games industry.
I try to be the best, even better than people with 2 legs, just to prove a point. And I've always loved sports. When I was younger, and I always used to run, I never ever let it stop me. I never let it get the better of me, and I never let I never let my disability define who I was and limit me in what I can do. It wasn't until middle school that I really started loving sports. My PE teacher, Mr. Milley, he was brilliant, and I'll always ever thank him. I still do whenever I see him. But yeah, no, he was amazing. He was an amazing PE teacher. And yeah, my love of sports fully got cemented there.
I think everybody needs a passion, whatever it is. Everybody needs something outside of work or family or something like that. And I think it definitely helps. And it's nice to be, I like team sports as well, because it's nice to be part of something. So I was never much of an individual sports person. I always liked playing team stuff, because you are part of a group, and then when you go away, it's good, it's fun, it's good banter. Even tonight, we're staying here for the weekend. And, tonight it'll be nice. We'll all sit around and have a chat. It's like a little mini holiday as well. And you get to play volleyball.
The one thing I will say to people, if you find the sport that's right for you, it is life-changing. It's freeing. One of the things I love about sitting volleyball is the fact anyone can play it. As soon as they're sat on the floor, everyone's got their own disability. People with legs struggle because they get in the way. You've got to work and adapt to what you've got. So it is a really inclusive sport. I've played it with kids in some of the strangest places, and it's just life-changing for people.
It's fantastic, and it's an opportunity that I never thought I'd have, really, because I was always, particularly growing up, I'm 40, so I was at school in like the 90s broadly, and there just weren't opportunities for disabled sports back then in the way that there kind of are now. So clearly that things have moved on. But for me, I just didn't do any sport at school. I tried to take part in PE as best I could, and otherwise I was academic. I was doing music, whatever. So in my 30s and now past them, to get the chance to do this is fantastic, and to travel and to see what my limits are is fantastic.
GB sitting volleyball player Steve Allen. This is Anything But Footy, a GB Sitting Volleyball special. Following the programme being disbanded after London 2012, UK Sport have started funding sitting volleyball again, with Paris and Los Angeles genuine targets. Michael's been speaking to performance manager Joanna Cook.
It's definitely growing again from 2012. It obviously had a hit with the lack of funding from UK Sport, but in 2021, we managed to bid for some funding. We've got National Squad Support Fund, which is a minimal level of support to get a sport started again on a performance aspect, to support the Great Britain senior squads to go and compete and show they can progress, get some stability back within the organisation, and grow it and see what we can do. So it's in a really good place now. Obviously we've learned a lot from 2012 and the experiences that we went through there. But we're very grateful for the support we've got and the opportunity the funding brings us. And we're really hopeful that we can demonstrate that we want more. We're not going to go away again. And, it's such a positive sport and in such a good place.
Because you've got sports, for example, I'm thinking like taekwondo and triathlon, both sort of recent additions, if you like, to the Paralympics. But their programs are relatively new, but they've gone from sort of zero to hero quite quickly. So with the right backing, support, bit of funding, we could have very competitive sitting volleyball teams moving forward.
Yeah, I think so. You do need the support to get there, especially on the Paralympic side. It's a lot harder logistically. It's harder with a kind of different cohort of athletes that need some additional support that an Olympic program doesn't necessarily need. The sports you mentioned, they have a long history in the Olympics, so they know how to run a system and they've transitioned really well into para sports, and that's brilliant. We just want to keep making sure that we can follow the same path, make sure our indoor, our sitting and beach can all really progress in this country and then progress on the world stage.
You must be delighted that UK Sport, their strategy now is around medals and more, because the medal moments are important. We've enjoyed them from that low water mark of Atlanta in 1996, but actually it's about getting more people involved. It's sometimes about grassroots and about what sport can do in communities, for example.
Yeah, for sure. Sport is, I believe, such an essential thing in everybody's life, and it can bring so many positive benefits. And I think from talking to the athletes, you've probably heard their stories and what they've got from the sport. And I think everyone can get that in a different way that suits their life. So I think it's really important. I mean, obviously performance and medals brings the cheers, brings the joy. But doing the sport day to day, getting that lovely feeling that you get, getting the mental health that you can get from doing physical activity, from moving your body, I think is just as important. And we want to make sure that we promote those messages alongside what we're doing, because it's almost that impact we can have on others by sending those messages and getting people involved is at the same level as a medal to us. So important.
So someone coming to Nottingham for the Silver Nations League, what do they need to know? What are the rules, the regulations? What should they be looking out for in a sitting volleyball match?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's fairly simple. You've got lines for your court. The court's 10 by 6 metres, and a net in the middle. Those that keep it in the court, get it over the other side, are going to be the people that win. So as soon as it touches down on the court, that's obviously a point to the other side. So, it's a fairly simple game to pick up to watch. It's fast, which is quite exciting. There's a lot of movement on the court, a lot of shuffling, a lot of falling over, because it's just the impact of the game. So it's really exciting to watch. And I think it is quite simple to pick up because the rules are similar to other sports, so you can kind of grasp what you're looking at. And it's just a joy because it's also quite different from a lot of sports. So I mean, from the first time I saw it, I loved it. And I couldn't believe how physically strong and mentally tough, and the reactions that you need needs to be so fast. I couldn't quite believe that you could get it in the kind of system that sitting volleyball provides. So yeah, they'll have a great time if they come and watch.
And the Silver Nations League, what is the format of that? Great Britain with men's and women's team. Who are we going to see them competing against, for example?
Yeah, so we've got the men's and women's competition running alongside each other. It's one of the few times that Para-Volley Europe, which is the international federation, have allowed it to happen. So we're really happy we can promote both sides of the sport. So we've got Italy, we've got Hungary, Slovenia, Poland, Latvia, France, all coming over. And there'll be a round robin stage where everyone plays everyone, and then it will go through to the semis and finals in placing positions on the Sunday. So the Sunday is that core, exciting time to win those medals. But yeah, the matches start on Friday evening, all the way through Saturday, and then finish off on Sunday afternoon.
Are we going to see some British success?
Let's hope so. Yes, I mean, we're very competitive, and we've played and beaten all of the teams at different times, and they've played and beaten us, so it's going to be very competitive. I think that's what makes a really good match. As you know, in sport, it can go either way at any point, but I know our athletes are so determined, especially when we're hosting the competition, that they really put a show on and they do the very best they can, and that's all we can really ask for. So yeah, we're very hopeful. We'd love to go for the medals.
Joanna Cook, GB Sitting Volleyball's performance manager. Now, 9 nations from across Europe will be coming together at Nottingham University from Friday, May 19th till Sunday, May 21st for the Silver Nations League. Along with the elite action, there'll be come and try sessions, and if you can't make the event but want to give the sport a go, you can use the club finder at the Volleyball England website.
So get yourself down to Nottingham University to cheer on the GB Sitting Volleyball teams in Silver Nations League action. The event starts on Friday evening with matches throughout both Saturday and Sunday. Entry is free. And for more information on the event, go to the website britishvolleyball.org.
It's very fast-paced and it can be very exciting, and you get some close games, especially at the country level. There's some good teams coming, and it will be very exciting. And we would love you to come and cheer for GB, and hopefully we can get a medal.
Volleyball's a great sport. You don't have to sit there quietly. We want you to make noise. We want you to put the opposition off. We want you to enjoy and cheer and go home and tell people about it, and hopefully it will become a bigger sport in this country.
It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to actually be playing sitting volleyball internationally in the UK.
Just come and watch and just shout to the top of your lungs, GB, GB, and hopefully we'll smash it.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.